What's going on, y'all? It's Ken Dog here. Today I'm giving my thoughts on the Harden trade to the Nets. Let's get right into it. Like, subscribe, and let's get to it. So, he was traded for Karis LeVert, a lot of first-round picks, and I believe Jared Allen and Taurean Prince. Now, Taurean Prince was a nice 12 points per game scorer about 3 years ago. Fell off a bit with the Nets. Didn't play as great, I feel like, as he did in Atlanta. He got injured, I think, like last season for a couple of games. So I don't mind giving up Taurean Prince. Karis LeVert was a probably, I would say, like 20 points per game, 18 points per game scorer. He was pretty good. He was looking like he could be the third star for the Nets. But I don't know. I mean, when Kyrie Irving wasn't there, he wasn't playing like great. He got back into rhythm. He got back into form. But I expect that from Karis LeVert. Being a Nets fan, I expect him to put up 20. So the fact that he started doing it, yeah, we were winning games. We won I think our last 2 out of 2. We were at 2-4 the last 4 games, and he was great. But I don't know. Having Harden being that second option, I feel like is a lot better because Harden's like a 30 points per game scorer. So, and then we got rid of Jared Allen, who really messes up our defense a lot, messes up our rebounding. He was like 15 rebounds a game for us for a couple of games. He scores here and there, pretty efficient from the field. Like, he can get you 12 points, and you know he's not going to shoot more than 8 shots, which is pretty good. But I feel like, I don't know. Nets definitely won the trade. I'm not mad that we traded those pieces for Harden. The Rockets, they get better. They get Oladipo. They have depth. They have Christian Wood, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. He's not feeling pressure from Harden anymore, so he has more sort of freedom to ball, to shoot. Pacers, they get stacked with Karis LeVert. I don't know if y'all realize, but they have the bonus, 20 points per game scorer. Malcolm Brogdon, 20 points per game scorer. Karis LeVert, 20 points per game scorer. They have TJ Warren, where if he's bubble TJ Warren again, 20 points per game scorer. They have Miles Turner. He can, improve with the extra depth added to the team. And yeah, sure, you're taking Oladipo and essentially getting Karis LeVert for him. But I feel like Karis LeVert is more size for the Pacers. I would say he has more moves. He can't dunk as good, but I feel like better layup package. Jump shot, probably the same as Oladipo's, but I feel like it's smoother. Like when he hits it, when he's in rhythm, it's like Karis LeVert's you know what I mean? Like he has all the pieces together. He's looking really good. But the Nets, I feel like, here's the thing. Here's 2 reasons why I like the Nets trade with Harden. Now, I'm not a Harden fan. I don't like Harden. Honestly, I was a Harden hater for the past 5 years. I still am. I'm still going to be on his ass every game. But here's 2 reasons why I like Harden on the Nets. And as you know, like I just told you, I don't like Harden. So, I don't think this. It's what Kyrie and Kevin Durant think. I like Harden on the Nets because he meshes well with them. Now, you might say that's not true. Well, here's why I think it's true. From Kevin Durant's perspective, Kevin Durant clearly doesn't mind having James Harden. We saw that little interview last night, pre-game or after the game against the Knicks, and Kevin Durant kind of has the microphone on. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about that yet," but he has this grin on his face, and when Kevin Durant's showing all his teeth, and when he's doing the cheesiest, over-the-topest grin, you could tell he's really excited about something. So we could tell. You could just tell. He's his former teammate, finished top 5 MVP voting the past 5 years. That's a teammate Kevin Durant wants. And James Harden is coming to Kevin Durant's team. Kevin Durant's not going to James Harden's team. He's not going to Steph Curry's team. They're coming to him. He just won the 2 championships. He carried the Warriors. So they're saying, I want to play with Durant. I want to go to Brooklyn. Durant's been in Brooklyn for 2 years. He's been there. He's done that. He was that man that's like, you know what? I'm giving Brooklyn a championship with my boy Kyrie. He's done that. James Harden's jumping on the bandwagon because he wants to do it now too. He wants to get in on that championship in Brooklyn. So for Durant, he's kind of like, look at all like this attraction I'm gaining. I got Kyrie balling out. I'm balling out. The Nets are doing pretty good. The bench without Karis LeVert and Jared Allen's actually pretty decent. Better than I thought. Our G League players actually have talent. And we just got James Harden. I mean, how could you be mad? And that's like another 30 points per game scorer along with Durant, who was a 30 points per game scorer. It's crazy. Now, from Kyrie's perspective, this is the key. Like, this is the biggest reason why I love this trade. Kyrie Irving said last season, it's glaring that we need more assets. And everyone hated him for it. And this season, we didn't get much assets. Landry Shamet was a new pickup. Joe Harris kind of improved. Karis LeVert kind of improved. So they were sort of those assets that we needed. Like any asset that we needed, people sort of improved to that role. So like Joe Harris wasn't as good. Karis LeVert wasn't as good when Kyrie Irving was making those comments. Jared Allen wasn't as good when Kyrie Irving made those comments. But now that this season, after the 10 games we've seen them play, and after what we saw from the bubble, they have improved. So Kyrie Irving's comments, yeah, we didn't find anyone. We didn't get any more assets, really. We got Jeff Green, but, he's not a crazy, crazy pickup. But you could tell, like, Kyrie Irving, when he's saying we need one more asset, he's saying, like, we need one more dude. We need one more role player that's 20 points a game. We need one more superstar. That's what Kyrie Irving is eyeing. That's what he wants. And he's fine with the fact that all his teammates, like Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, have improved, and they're kind of making up what is the core of the Nets team, along with him and Kevin Durant. He doesn't mind that, because he's like, hey, if you're going to get better and you're going to give us 20 rebounds a game and Karis LeVert's going to get 25 a game, who cares? You know what I mean? I'll gladly play for this team. But he still wanted that asset. He never got that asset. He manifested. He said, universe. He spoke it into existence. He says, we need one more asset. He said it in front of everybody. Everybody hated him for it. But guess what? Guess what happened a year later? We got that asset. We got James Harden. James Harden really good. And, I mean, what could you say? Kyrie Irving, he's really happy right now. And if you look at the media, Kyrie Irving hasn't spoken much. He's been in hiding, personal leave, whatever the hell you want to call it. But the second after we got Harden, he goes on some sort of media, some sort of phone call, whatever the hell it was, and he says, I'm excited to play and get back with my teammates. I am super excited. I am ready to go. And you don't say that the past 3 days, 1 week, you're out. You say that after you get Harden. So he's like, finally, we finally get Harden. Durant's been talking about it for a couple months, getting Harden. So I feel like their whole season hasn't really begun yet. Because it's like, are they getting Harden or not? Because they can get Harden. They have assets for Harden. It was like this trade would have happened 10 years ago. It's just, do you give up the assets or not? And Kevin Durant and Karis LeVert, I feel like, wanted some time to play together because they like each other. They were supposedly like best friends, before they became teammates. So it was like, and I wanted to see that too. I felt like if we got rid of Karis LeVert, we'd be snubbing him. We wouldn't be giving him a chance. Because him with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, he could be a whole another monster. He could be that third scorer you need. But it didn't work out the best. He had a shaky first couple of games. He bounced back. But he wasn't that starter. We were playing him on the six-man role. We could have been starting him, I guess. But then that sort of clogs up sort of the front court. There's too much offense going on if you have him starting with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, I feel like. With Harden, he's more of an assist guy. He can make plays better than Karis LeVert. Hence why Harden, I feel like, won't clog up the offense. Because, also, you got to think, who else is starting? Who else is giving you that starting push? Nobody. DeAndre Jordan can't score, really. Jeff Green at power forward, center, I don't know. He's going to get like 6 points, 8 points a game. So, when you have a lineup like this, you almost want Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant to shoot every time. Because why not? If you're playing $300 million for all three of them, you bet your ass you want them to shoot the ball damn near every time. Because you're paying $300 million for them. Everyone else is worth pocket change, G leagues, one-way contracts, minimal veteran salaries. And then you got $300 million going to 3 players. So I expect those 3 players to shoot the ball every time. And I feel like they will, and that's okay. But if you have Karis LeVert shooting the ball every time, Kyrie Irving shooting the ball every time, and then Kevin Durant shooting the ball every time, it's like, well, what about Joe Harris? What about Jared Allen? What about Spencer Dinwiddie? What about all these other players? TLC, he could put up 10 a game. Why not give him some more shots? But if you take away the depth of the team and you take away those extra dominoes, like the first 25 dominoes are going to fall down because the first one fell down, right? But you still have those other 5 in the back. If you run fast enough, you can knock over that domino and make sure 2 of them still stand. And you could prevent the domino effect. You know what I mean? So you get rid of your death, essentially, but it's like, it's okay. You still have a couple pieces left, and you have James Harden, who is primarily going to be your second option, third option, all game long. So it kind of balances out. You lose the depth, but you gain someone who could just shoot the ball all game long and hit it all game long. And that's what the Nets need. If the Nets are going stagnant and stale on offense, you have to rely on Kevin Durant to get you back in the game. Now you don't. Now you have Harden. And then once Kyrie comes back, it's like even more pressure is relieved because Kevin Durant shoots 10 for 25. Uh-oh, that's not that great. James Harden, 6 for 19. That's not great either. But then you look at Kyrie Irving, he shoots like 11 for 12. That's amazing. That could be good enough to get them to win, despite 2 bad scoring nights, or scoring players. So either way, I feel like they can sort of figure it out on the fly. And if it's not working out one game and one guy's ball hogging too much, then you space him out. You say, hey, you know what, Harden, you sit on the bench, let Kyrie play the next 4 minutes. Kevin Durant will play like the last 2 minutes of the quarter. You'll come in the second. You'll play the first 6 minutes. You won't have anybody bothering you. You won't have Kyrie Irving shucking up every other shot or Kevin Durant ball hogging and being dominant. It'll be your time. You know what I mean? Like, you could easily say, all right, Harden, your time. Kevin Durant, your time. And Kyrie Irving, you're just like there. Like, I feel like, one last point, the perfect balanced offense would be like, have 2 of them on at least at all times. Not all times, but like most of the game. Like for at least 30 minutes of the game, try to have at least Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, or James Harden, at least 2 of them on at the same time. And then have one that's not playing be the leader when they're not playing. So if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are playing, Kevin Durant gets subbed out. I think that's what should happen. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant should play. Kevin Durant should get subbed out because he's our most valuable asset. Kyrie Irving and James Harden should then play together. Kyrie Irving should get subbed out after playing like 2 minutes with Harden. Give that little like duo push. And then Harden can then take over. He takes over till Durant's back. And then Durant comes in. And then Durant and Harden, they play like 2 minutes together. And then Irving comes in. And then Irving and Durant are playing 4 minutes together. And then halftime, second quarter's over. And then you have all 3 of them come in after they all played not a lot of minutes in the second, while also giving them a 12-minute break for halftime. And then you look at the third quarter, they all play the third quarter together. They all get subbed out, maybe leave like Kyrie in for an extra 2 minutes. You sub Kyrie out, you maybe have like last couple minutes of the third, couple minutes of the starting of the fourth, maybe have like just full on bench mode. And then 8 minutes in, 7 minutes into the fourth, get Kyrie Irving back in. Then put Kevin Durant back in. And then have James Harden in at like the 4-minute mark. You know what I'm saying? If the Nets are able to like rotate the lineup like that, I think they'll be nasty. But like I said, I think you need 2 of them at the same time at least. Because this Nets team, other than Joe Harris, other than Spencer Dinwiddie who's injured, they don't really got much. Bruce Brown's good. Chris Jones is good. I mean, I could say anyone in the Nets is good. I really can. I could say Shamit's good. But you know what? Like, in terms of consistency-wise, you're getting the most consistency out of Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. So that's the consistency you want to see. You want to see Joe Harris shoot, and make three-pointers a game at least. You know what I mean? That's something you want to see. But, like, you're not going to see Bruce Brown have a good game every game, or Shamit shoot great every game, or, you know what I mean, one of these other dudes like Reggie Perry going off in his first, 20 minutes of his career scoring 9 points. You're not going to see that like he did against the Knicks every game. So you're hoping that what you do see every game is high scoring production from the 3 starters that we have. So that's my prediction. I didn't mean to make it 18 minutes long, but it happened. I guess I had a lot to say, you know what I mean? I couldn't make it short. I tried to make it short. I tried to bring up 2 points, but it's like you can expand on each point to oblivion. Like I brought up the fact that Kyrie Irving needs that other asset, and I went on talking for 10 straight minutes about something else. But that's the thing, you know what I mean? What do the Nets need? Now you know. I feel like the Nets are doing fine. I feel like the record will get better. And like I said, last point, like 20 seconds long, the Nets, they really haven't had their team together yet. Kyrie Irving's been out. James Harden just came here. So once Kyrie Irving comes back and James Harden starts playing, this is like the Nets for this year. This is the 2021 Nets. You know what I mean? Like, not with Karis LeVert, not with Jared Allen. It's James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving show. It's their team. So this is the team moving forward. This is the team we haven't seen since yesterday because it was just created. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know how good this team will be because we never seen this team play together. So the Nets from 2 games ago are completely different Nets than the ones now. So that's all I gotta say. We don't know. You know what I mean? They're like 1 win above 500, but again, you don't know how good this Nets team is going to be. This Nets team could win the next 20 straight. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Also, when someone is injured or resting, I think, one should always play. They shouldn't have all 3 resting at the same time. But that's my video. Like, subscribe. Peace.